Thank you. We live in an era of seeing. Video, right? Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, every business on the planet clamoring for a second of your visual attention. And if you're like me, you close your eyes, you get overwhelmed, you stop seeing, and you start listening. My name is Chemidlin, and I am a podcaster. I have fallen in love with the medium because when I listen to a podcast, I'm taken somewhere else. I feel like I am the people I'm hearing. If it's an interview with a startup founder, I'm their co-founder. If it's a true crime, I'm discovering the clues. And if it's just a couple of guys talking with some beers, I brought the IPA. Now, I listen to podcasts as I'm walking around the greatest city in the world, Philadelphia. I came to Philly in 2010 to study at Temple, and by 2014, when I graduated, I knew I needed to stay here. And as I was searching for a job, I had one rule in my search, one criterion. The job had to be in Philly. I wound up taking a lower salary and paying higher taxes on it just to stay here. And while my friends all moved to New York and LA and Boston, boo, I planted my feet. And I thrived. I had a great time. I started an app and joined the tech scene. I joined a music club and joined the music scene. I was able to purchase a home in a major city at the age of 23. But what was weird about this is that as I gushed about Philadelphia to anyone who would listen, people, especially local Philadelphians, would generally have the same reaction. They would look at me and they'd say, "Really? Philly?" And I'm like, "Yeah, haven't you seen this place? It's amazing. You can have anything you want." Now, granted, this is from my perspective, which it took me a while to learn as an upper middle class white dude who can write computer code. Path of least resistance, right? And when you think about the fact that the majority of our citizens are living in poverty and addiction with no way out, yeah, okay, that's pretty discouraging and embarrassing. But here's the thing, we do have incredible people here and amazing stories and so much potential. So much potential. And as long as we have this inferiority complex thing that's going around, it's self-perpetuating and it'll be true. We'll never beat our challenges. Last December, I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, How I Built This, with Guy Raz. And yeah, great show. They highlighted Warby Parker. Now, before the glasses company, right? Before I had heard this episode, I never knew that Warby Parker was made here. But as I was listening and hearing the story from the founders themselves in my ears, I was so pumped. They're from Philly. They said Walnut Street. That's where I am. Amazing. I was hooked. I needed to hear more Philly stories. And I immediately thought of other Philadelphians whose stories needed to be told, right? Todd Carmichael, Chill Moody, Yasmin Mustafa, Alex Scott. If the Warby Parker bros are on a podcast, why aren't they? And then what about all the Philly stories that I haven't heard of, that I'm totally unaware of, that haven't touched my life? Shouldn't they be told too? And as I thought about how podcasting has impacted my life and how connected I feel to the voices in those earbuds, I knew that this show had to be made. For all those kids who got jobs in New York, for all those people who have never been here before, and for all those lifelong Philadelphians who just don't believe that this city is worth anything. If they could feel that connection to these people, they'd believe it too. So I had never done an interview in my life, did some Googling, didn't find the show I was looking for, and I decided I need to make this. And so I did, and I was terrified. And at first there were no listeners. Nobody was paying attention, but man, after each episode, I probably listened to that episode like 14 times in a week. Because I knew that if I could bottle up this feeling and tell the stories of everyday Philadelphians and get it into the ear of every Philadelphian I could find, it would be successful. So I started the show Philly Who, which tells the stories of the doers, thinkers, and performers of Philadelphia. I'm extremely excited to say that after 6 months, there have been 24 episodes and over 10,000 streams. Thank you. It's incredibly humbling and exciting, but the work has just begun. It's so... I gotta say, I'm so excited about this. I've learned that my mission is to convince Philadelphia of its greatness one story at a time, because we're already here, we already know. And Whether or not you see what I see in the city of Philadelphia, I know that once you hear it, you'll believe it too. Thank you.